We are here as usual to come and celebrate and remember our former General Secretary, Comrade Joe Slovo. It is important, Comrade, that as communists, we don't just do this thing for the sake of doing it. It's not a PR exercise. It is now our culture as communists here, Comrade, to come here every day when it is the 6th of January, to come and remember our leader, to take strength and to remember his teachings, to remember his leadership, so that all of us, after the General Secretary of the party have spoken to us, we must all remember that, comrades, this is the line we are going to take as the Communist Party going forward. This year is going to be a difficult year, comrades. We are going to the elections, and the leadership will speak briefly about that. It is important, comrade, to remind all of us, comrade, that we must defend and protect our national democratic revolution. Usually it's important, comrade, to also congratulate the class of 2018. Gauteng General Secretary, and Gauteng is now #1 nationally. Yes, we're #1 General Secretary. So our matriculants have done well. Well, you have done well, yes. In terms of the membership, we're still #2. We're still #2. We are saying to Moses Mabida, we are coming. We are now almost at 50,000 membership, General Secretary. So we are strong. Comrade, we are 50,000. And we want to congratulate the YCL, the newly elected leadership of the YCL. The National Secretary, can you stand up, National Secretary? The newly elected Secretary of the YCL is here with us. Congratulations to the YCL. And I want to thank you, comrades, for being here early. And I know the General Secretary and the Deputy General Secretary arrived here very early today. And we are going to push, comrades. So with that, comrade, I want to welcome you, comrades, and call upon the Provincial Secretary of the party, Comrade Jacob Mababulo, to come and give us a welcoming address. No para wama komanes. Kulubi. Aremia misenga koja.
Welcome to Gauteng. Yeah. We better you can. You can Begis ya, challenge. Begis ya. He just arrived.
Kano National Secretary of YC Acumen.
Sudan, Sabir Ibrahim Abu Sadar, Sudan Liberation.
Yeah, now.
Yeah. Communist Party of Lesotho.
Amanda! Amanda! Viva SACP, viva! Viva SACP, viva! Viva ANC, viva!
Viva COSATU, viva! Viva SANCO, viva! Viva Young Communist League of South Africa, viva! Viva Progressive Youth Alliance, viva! Amandla! Long live the fighting spirit of Joe Slovo, long live! Long live the fighting spirit of Joe Slovo, long live! Long live the fighting spirit of Joe Slovo, long live! Amandla! Thank you very much, Comrade John PC, our provincial chairperson, and of course co-sharing with Comrade Zokwane, our national chairperson. Comrades, without any waste of time, on behalf of our Provincial Executive Committee, we are very much pleased and glad to acknowledge and welcome all of you present here and recognize the presence of our most beloved General Secretary, Dr. Plate Nzimande. Let's give the GS a thunderous applause to welcome him to our province. To our General Secretary, we would like to sincerely welcome you to Avalon, the cemetery where the remains of Comrade Joe Slovo resting in peace. And we must also thank you, GS, for leading the party to where it is for a very long time. We heartily say thanks to you, General Secretary. Thanks very much on behalf of our province. We're glad to have you today here with us. Comrades, we have our officials. Let me take the opportunity to welcome Comrade Solima Paila, our young First Deputy General Secretary, our own generational mix. Minasho. Very young for battles ahead. Yes, he's still youth. Still youth. I see members of the YCL are worried we're not contesting anything, comrades. Comrade Soli is very young. He qualifies actually to still lead the YCL. But to you, Minashuru, welcome, and we're always glad to have you. I've already acknowledged Comrade, our national chair, and we have also the Deputy National Chair, Comrade Tudasingesi Tichomkulu. Let me take this opportunity, comrades, to also welcome and acknowledge, fresh from the box, Comrade Pekin Chali, the General Secretary of our only class alliance partner, COSATU. Congratulations, Comrade Peki, and welcome to the site of Joe Slovo. Again, comrades, we are very honored and very glad that today we are welcoming to this site the fresh from the box, still fresh elected in December, Comrade Iniquitous, who is the National Secretary of Comsomol, the Young Communist League of South Africa. On behalf of our PC, I would like to congratulate him and the entire National Committee of the Young Communist League of South Africa. Comrade Iniquitous, congratulations and welcome. We are looking forward to work with you to help young people who are looking for leadership, and we're quite sure that yourself and the entire leadership of the National Committee of the Young Communist League will take Marxism-Leninism to the young people and provide leadership to the working class youth and build the Sacp and the entire revolutionary movement. Comrades, we have with us here a number of Central Committee members. Some of them might have just arrived, but as and when they come, our national chair, Comrade Zokwan and of course Comrade Mpesi, will welcome them as they arrive or acknowledge them. But we have seen already, and of course, those that I might have not seen, we will acknowledge them as the program goes. Comrade Chris Matako, I'm told, the second Deputy General Secretary, is here, Comrade Chair. Comrade Chris, welcome. My apologies. But otherwise, comrades, there are members of the Central Committee who are here. And of course, I've seen the Provincial Secretaries of Mpumalanga, the militant Majuba. I've seen the Provincial Secretary of the Free State. I said to him once he's here, we form a quorum, and he said Majuba is the one who determines the quorum. So would like to welcome him. And the chair, provincial chair from the Free State is also here with us. Comrades, I've seen Comrade, the living Joe Slovo, because we have Joe Slovo's remains are here, but we have the living Joe Slovo as well. Comrade Fikile Machola is here, I've seen him. Comrade Mkwena, I've seen him, the General Secretary of the mighty SATU, the union to which I still belong. And of course, we do have, comrades, amongst us a number of international guests. We have comrades from the Communist Party of Zimbabwe, led by Comrade Iniquitous Mabina. Let's give him a round of applause. We hope the crocodile will not eat the Communist Party. Okay. Let me also, comrades, take the opportunity to welcome and acknowledge. Of course, Comrade Bedoues knows he's part of us. He's here as well. He's the National Political Commissar of the Communist Party. Comrade Lenin. We are privileged to have Lenin amongst us. Comrade Lenin Chisaina. It's for the first time in my life I welcome Lenin. So, Comrade Lenin, it's an honor and privilege to welcome you. We have a Comrade Vuyani Charlie of the Communist Party of Lesotho. Let's give them a round of applause. The Communist Party is getting stronger and stronger in the continent. Let's welcome Comrade Sabir Abu Sadia. He is with the Sudanese Liberation Movement, the most militant liberation movement. We want to acknowledge your presence, and let's give him a round of applause to welcome him. Comrade Chair and Comrade National Chair, I've been made aware that we are very much privileged and honored to welcome a militant, also still very young, generational mix. The militant Ronald Lamola is here. on behalf of the African National Congress, is a member of the NEC, of the ANC. Now, Comrade Lamola, we really sincerely welcome you and greet the entire leadership of the African National Congress, our national liberation movement, and the political alliance partner, primary political ally of the party. Since Jigilezi to Comrade Lamola, welcome and feel at home. Now, comrades, without any waste of time, I think it will be good to allow the leaders who are here to deliver the messages, and of course, we then receive the message of the day, the political keynote address from our General Secretary about the life, the theory and practice of Joe Slovo. So for that, comrades, I'd only like to say our province is very glad that once more we gather like this very early in the year to celebrate the life of Comrade Joe Slovo. I'd like to thank all our district secretaries and of course our staff for making sure that this event is befitting to honor a scholar par excellence, a Marxist-Leninist in theory and in practice, a monument of Marxism-Leninism in the concrete conditions of our country in South Africa, Comrade Joe Slovo. So, comrades, let us reconnect with the theory and practice of Joe Slovo so that we can lead the working class in our country and in the province to socialism. Let me also join Comrade John PC to salute all the matriculants for doing an excellent job. Also congratulate the provincial government. MEC Lissouf, he threatened to be here. I don't know if he has executed that threat, but I think we must sincerely thank him. Comrade John Peace is the chair of the Portfolio Committee on Education. I think we must thank Comrade John Peace for delivering the results, Comrade Chair. Kiena litan sfepi mo Comrade Panyaza Lissouf. Sfepu skra mo Comrade John Peace. Now, on a lighter note, but much more lighter, and of course, to all Kaiser Chiefs fans who are the majority in the party, Zizo Chiga Izinto. Comrade Zokwan, I know the chair agrees with me. Comrades, with those feel most welcome, and thank you very much, comrades. With those, Comrade Chair, all comrades are sincerely welcome. Let me hand over back to you. Thank you very much, comrades.
It's about one picture now. Give me the small paper.
Thank you, Provincial Secretary. Viva SSCP, viva! Itengilinda chabani mo. Angiboni, ilinda chabani khona la. Opapasha ikhona la. Yashoti district yam. Yusuf Tatu, are you here? And they're short, and they're short. Okay. National Secretary.
Mandla, 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 Mandla. Long live Kosas, long live. Long live Sasko, long live. Long live the ANC Youth League, long live. Chigitelo Fasimba, Chigitela. Chigitelo Fasimba, Chigitela. Long live Sanko, long live. Long live Kosatu, long live. Long live the ANC, long live. Long live the Sacp, long live. Long live the undying spirit of Joe Slovo, long live. Long live the undying spirit of Joe Slovo, long live. Mandla. Thanks. Program directors. Long live the ANC Women's League, long live. Long live the Young Women's Desk, long live. Mandla. Long live the Veterans League, long live. Mandla. No, thanks, Chair. The program directors, the provincial chair of Gauteng, Comrade Joe Mpisi, our national chairperson, Comrade Senzeni Zogwana, our general sec of the party, Comrade Blade. At least we're happy, Comrade Mpisi, that today the country seems to be a bit united because the two teams that tend to divide the nation, all of them, they can't celebrate unless if a draw to them, it's a win. So I think today we're fine. Comrade Jacob has already highlighted that the majority is mourning, so the entire country must mourn because the majority is mourning. Our central committee members, all our officials of the party, provincial leaders of the party present, our national office bearers of the YCL, Comrade National Chair, Comrade Mabuse, the entire 5th Congress National Committee present here. Our PYA formations, I've seen the member of the NEC of the ANC Youth League, Comrade Demise Mkako. I've seen the national convener of the Young Women's Desk, who's our national committee, Comrade Precious Banda, the leadership of COSATU Young Workers. I've seen the student movement, the leadership of SASC in the province of Gauteng. Both the chair and the SEC are with us here. All the structures of the party and the YCL receive the revolutionary greetings, obviously from the newly elected National Committee of UFASIM. Comrade Chair, this event happens at a critical time where indeed we note and we celebrate the 60th anniversary of the Cuban Revolution, and indeed we draw inspiration and lessons to say at that time young people were the ones in the forefront to agitate and advance the struggle. So it means even if we're a strata, but we can't be wished away for any revolutionary cause as young people. And we celebrate the 60th anniversary of the Lion of the North, the former president of the ANC Youth League, who was obviously been elected in the province, Comrade Mpisi, where one comes from, and one historical college of Ndebele College. But there are critical questions that we really need to ask and analyze to say, as our country matures to 25 years since the democratic breakthrough, have these years been the ones that the working class and the poor can celebrate and be proud of, or they've been on the offensive, they've been on the receiving end of these challenges that are persisting in our society? Indeed, it is an honor for us to be afforded this opportunity today to be part of those who are here to celebrate and commemorate the life and times of Comrade Slovo, and further draw some lessons from his leadership. As you know, is our former General Sacp, our former National Chairperson, and he was a member of the National Executive Committee of the African National Congress. He remains a man that inspires many of his generations, where Tata Madiba characterized him as he was delivering the eulogy in his funeral, as a patriot, a father, a fighter, a negotiator, an internationalist, a theoretician, and an organizer. So indeed you can see that we are here to commemorate one of the all-round cadres of our movement. We remain inspired by his courageous acts and taking into cognizance that despite the challenges that the majority were facing in the country, he defied and confronted the status quo and chose to be on the side of the oppressed. Obviously, as an internationalist and fighting against even racial exploitation. Today, Comrade Chair, we commemorate an outstanding leader who understood that the future and success of any country lies in its youth. A man who knew that young people are an important pillar of any nation or organization. The youth are better positioned to introduce new dimensions, ideas contributing to the current socio-political and economic dialogue, particularly in the current epoch. Whilst they remain a strata, youth cannot be wished away in a course of struggle and the advancement of a generational mission. We commemorate a leader who eloquently understood a struggle for socialism. He understood that socialism is about taking power by the working class in alliance with other strata of the working people. Destruction of the old state machine, the bourgeois instrument of political domination, and establishment of dictatorship of the proletariat. As we advance for social ownership of the means of production, eradication of all forms of exploitation and oppression, and of class antagonism, socialism remains the first phase towards our ultimate goal of communist state. Comrade Slovo, as a theoretician, he taught us that we will just pose a question by asking only whether our struggle is a national struggle or a class struggle. Obviously, if we just ask such a question, we'll get a wrong answer. The right question becomes, what is the relationship between the two categories? And a failure to understand that the class content of the national struggle and the national content of the class struggle in existing conditions can hold back the advancement of both the democratic and the socialist transformation which we seek to achieve. Comrade Joe is one of the finest revolutionaries that contributed immensely to the struggle during his youthful age through his writings, which assisted the party to define the phenomena on the national content and the content of the class struggle. In him we see ourselves as Ufasim. His ideas still live with us and find relevance to our day-to-day challenges. He had amazing and dexterous way to characterize the rise of the youth in all sectors that affect the sides of our struggle. He cherished the new ideas to blossom and nourish the growth of this integrity, personal discipline, the open-mindedness. Thus, in many instances, those reluctant on accepting new ideas, they will always see young people as ill-disciplined, disrespectful, and at times counter-revolutionary. Comrade Chair, today, as we are here, we believe that one of the lessons that we take from Comrade Joe was the power of persuasion as a critical weapon that every young person, especially an aspirant communist, needs to have in order to be the change that we want to see in our society. Allow me, Comrade Chair, to say when we speak about a man who understands the working class youth and who cared about the unemployed and the plight of the people that are subjected to the cruelty and the brutality of a capitalist system, we mean the sons and daughters of our nurses, the petrol attendants, the educators, the policemen and women, the peasants, the street workers, and all young people in this particular society. As this Fifth National Committee, in its honor and memory, we dare not to fail the young people of South Africa and the entire membership that has given us mandate for the next 4 years, Comrade Chair. Allow us to reiterate that this year we are not going to disappoint our membership with the mandate that has been given to us. And of course, as part of celebrating the life and times of Comrade Joe Slovo, we immediately kickstart our Joe Slovo Right to Learn campaign. And we must indeed congratulate the province of Gauteng and the entire class of 2018 for the sterling performance. And indeed, Comrade Joe, as the chair of the portfolio committee, we must really commend you for the work that you have done and the work that our educators, led by the progressive SADU in majority, have done in the country. And we'll ensure that our campaign gives attention to our Congress theme, that is to deepen youth mobilization and build capacity for people's power, and advance the resolutions that we have taken out of the Congress, and make sure that as part of deepening this youth, we will focus on our youth manifesto that speaks mostly on the 12-point fronts that we need to establish and make sure that we address some challenges that are affecting young people in general. And we must understand that education remains a site of struggle, and it's a system that needs radically to be transformed. We vow to advance the struggle for attaining free and compulsory quality education for the poor. And this should be broadened beyond the breaking financial barriers, because what we have now is a fee-free education, but we believe that there's still a lot that needs to be done in transforming our curriculum content that seems not to be biased to the working class and the poor, that continues to entrench neoliberal thinking in our society. The YCL has a responsibility of defining and characterizing education outside the confines of being means to an end exclusively for labor. As Engels alluded at the burial of Comrade Marx, that mankind must first eat, drink, have shelter, clothing before he can pursue politics, science, art, religion, and etc. In the contemporary context, Comrade Chair was still subjected to the learning and ultimately having sources of education from all eras of our lives as we continue to learn from our communities, older generations and from each other. We have declared 2019, Comrade Chair, as the year of the TVET sector. You will remember that this is not a new campaign, but it's an emphasis on addressing the persisting challenges that have faced this particular sector. The TVET sector is faced with challenges ranging from poor infrastructure, the curriculum content that does not even interrelate towards each other, especially the NCV curricula, that to us we feel it's a repetition actually of grade 10 to grade 12, because even when you check the access there, you get a person who has passed matric being enrolled to level 2 of that NCV courses, but the one that again has a grade 9 and decides no longer to pursue the studies in a high school and choose to go to a TVET college, being able to enroll for the same course. And we believe these are some of the challenges that exist within that particular sector, that it needs us as part of this right to learn to transform this and indeed demand transformation of our education system. Students for years have not seen this sector as a first choice, but they've seen it more as a dumping site after they failed to get access to the universities and University of Technologies. And hence, as the YCL says, working with our PYA structures, we shall make sure that the TVET sector becomes a choice itself. And will they remember, Comrade Chair, that in 2011, with the then Minister of Higher Education and Training, he declared a decade of artisan, which was 2011 to 2020, but we feel less has been done in achieving that particular goal, and thus we'll make sure that as part of advancing our Joe Slovo right to learn, we work with all forces within that particular sector to transform this TVET sector. Comrade Chair, in conclusion, the working class remains in the receiving end. We must agree, all of us, that some of these challenges are informed to say, especially for the past decade, the country was more into autopilot, and hence we have a responsibility, in particular the party as the vanguard of the working class and the poor, to really be a beacon of hope to the working class and make sure that we fix some of the wrong things that have entrenched themselves and have been institutionalized in our movement and in the country. It was the party that was in the offensive against the Gupta parasitic network. But we must say, Comrade GS, that when we analyze and see, we see a bit of re-emergence of remnants of the class project. And that needs all of us to make sure that we confront some of those tendencies, because we can see with policy directions, we can see the attempts to privatize our state-owned enterprises. We can see the backdoor privatization that is coming. So we hope to say, as part of Tumamin and the New Dawn, the leadership of the NC, you would understand that the working class remain the motive force of this revolution. And you must not forget that the working class is able to revolt. So whatever policy direction that you take, let it be those that will advance the agenda of the working class and the poor as the motive force, rather than just coopting the few elites within the system. Comrade Chair, it will be wrong for us to conclude without highlighting on the plight of the people of Swaziland, which is our neighbor, where there are challenges that are persisting, and it's painful and very worrying when some of our own alliance deployees could have guts to naturalize the Guptas, but failed to give even a permanent political asylum status to our comrades of Swaziland. These are some of the challenges that we really hope this leadership and going to the sixth administration we shall rectify and make sure that indeed there's no democracy in Swaziland, and our comrades must live up to the 54th National Congress resolutions on the international solidarity, in particular to the people of Palestine, the people of Western Sahara, Swaziland, and all other oppressed nations. Mandla! Mandla! Long live Comrade Joe Slovo, long live! Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. The newly elected Secretary, we allow him some more time because that's a motion. So we allowed him to no, now, comrades, before I call the next speaker, we need to acknowledge the following leaders who are here with us. We have our National Treasurer, Comrade Joyce Muloye Moropa. Welcome, Treasurer. Welcome. We are also joined by the NEC member of the ANC, Comrade Natim Tetwa Nyambos. Welcome. We also have in our midst Comrade Mukwena Maluleke, who is also the Central Committee member of the party. The General Secretary of SACP is here with us. We also have Comrade Zola Sapeta. Can't miss this one. This is my union. The General Secretary of Nehau is here with us. Comrade Zola, welcome. We are also, Comrade, joined here by the regional chairperson of the ANC in Johannesburg, Comrade Jeff Makubu. Comrade Chair, can you stand up? Yeah, he's the hosting region ANC, Comrade. We also have the COSATU Provincial Secretary, Comrade Tumsani Takile is with us here, Comrade. No Palawa Sevens. Comrade, you are also joined here by the Lutuli Detachment. There are comrades who are here with us. Comrade MK Malachi is here with us. Comrade, our veteran also from the Lutuli Detachment, Ndate Matonze. Baba Matonze, Lasiabo. We must also acknowledge the leadership of the BDS, Comrade Mohammed and the team. They are here with us. Welcome, comrades. It's also important, Comrade Jess, to also acknowledge Comrade Precious Banda as the convener of the young women in the African National Congress. We welcome you, Comrade. Without a waste of time, Comrade, Sanko is not here. No, the leadership is not here to speak. You are, yes, members of Sanko, yes. But let's move, Comrade. Now we are going to call on the General Secretary of COSATU, Comrade Begin Charlie, to give us a message of support. Comrades, I want to request the speakers to be short so that we are able to give the General Secretary enough time. No palava sevens. And I'm so missing about my comrades. Victor, I'll shine.
Amandla! Amandla! Viva COSATU, viva! Viva COSATU, viva! Iya COSATU! Iya COSATU! Oh iya COSATU ya rudae! Iya COSATU! Oh iya COSATU! Oh iya COSATU ya rudae!
Amandla, amandla, awethu, matla, waruna, matimba, haina, manda, asu. Program directors, Comrade Joe PC and Comrade Zogwane, the leadership of the party in the province that is hosting us for this very important annual event. Leadership of Sanko in absence, leadership of the party led by Comrade Blade Zimande, Umzomyama, nama members of the Central Committee, ne leaders YLCL, leadership of COSATU, and leadership of the COSATU Central Executive Committee, leadership of the African National Congress, the members of the family of Joe Comrade Slovo, and members of the many comrades who are lying in this hero's action. Dear comrades, first of all, we want to thank the party once more for organizing this annual event, because Comrade Joe Slovo represent all those who sacrifice their lives in order for us to be free. We'll always be grateful for their contribution, and will never forget the role they play. So whenever we come here, comrade, and commemorate the life and the contribution of Joe Slovo, it must be understood that he represents all those who have made this contribution. Secondly, comrade, we want to join the chorus of congratulating the class of 2018 for their achievements. It has not been easy. It has been difficult. To those who have not made it, we want to encourage them not to give up. We want to join and remember the words that Comrade Putima Namela once uttered. Let us make education fashionable. Let us make education fashionable. Not only for those who are in matric, but to encourage them to go and step further and receive and achieve their graduation. Program Director and Comrade Nati, let me just reveal this, and with the understanding ukuthi kungathiwa ubheki wasuka ku party wa reveala ama secret we Nationalist committee. When one of the provinces of the ANC, comrade, table their list, the members in the list, to contest the election for 2019, the province to province. And one of the requirements in the ANC is that people must circulate their CVs. What do they have? What have they studied? What experience they have? And one of the province, Comrade, when they table their list, all the people in the list, all of them, Comrade, province to province, they have degrees. All of them, Comrade. Not once, others got 2, others have 3, and the national and the chairperson of the province holds a doctorate degree. That is Northern Cape, Comrade. All of them. Yeah. They are not going to need interpretation when there's a debate. They will understand what is at stake, and they will be able to engage constructively. And I think is a lesson, in my view, Comrade, that we should uphold. In regards to the education, we want to make this appeal back to the African National Congress, because comrades are here. And we want to ask the party to join us in making this appeal. Those MECs who have done well in education, please, Comrade, don't remove them and dump them at a national level. We've seen the Free State. They said, thank you very much. We have done well as the MEC of education. Now is the time to go. But they retain some of the worst performing MECs. They are doing it in Mpumalanga. The Comrade have done very well. Maybe his sin is that he was once a COSATU leader. They said he must go. So we're appealing, Comrade, to the ANC leaders who are here and the party, that we must lobby very hard for those who are performing well to be retained in their position, because it is to the benefit of our children. In 2016, Comrade, before the election, we stood here, Comrade Blade, and made promises to Comrade Slovo. We said to them, we'll work hard, and the ANC is going to win the election, the local government election, overwhelmingly. We said so, despite that we knew that our people were raising grievances. They say they don't want the labor brokers. They say they don't want the e-tolls. They said unemployment is high and corruption is rife. They said the alliance is not working properly. And our people prove us wrong. They voted on their feet. They refused to vote for the ANC. They did not vote for the other party, but they refused to vote for the ANC. The result, we lost the very important metros. They punished us, but they gave us an opportunity to correct the wrongs. Today in 2019, we stand here again before Comrade Joe Slovo as COSATU to reaffirm our National Congress resolution that will mobilize our people to vote for the movement, to vote for the ANC. Let me put quite clear, comrade. We are voting and will be voting for the ANC, not the leaders. We are not voting for those who are in a list, but we are voting for the movement. We are going to vote and mobilize for the ANC for what it stands for, not the faces, not how people might be singing. No, we are voting for what will be in the manifesto of the ANC. So when we go and vote, we'll want to see the NHI, the jobs, the quality education, the living wage, and the confirmation of the alliance. That's what we want to vote for. We want to recapture the ANC to the ANC that we know. It is in this context, comrade, that we are lobbying the party not to give up on the ANC. We are lobbying the leadership of the party. Let us not surrender the ANC to the populists within the ANC. We must assist, comrade. Not for the first time. The party must assist the ANC. We want the party to join us, despite the difficulties. We can't stop fighting the corruption within our country, and particularly within the ANC. We must fight very, very hard. Some of the reports that are given to us in dealing towards the Lease Conference comrades are chilling. They make you shiver what is happening within our movement. So we must fight corruption. We must fight for the unity of the alliance. We must see the implementation of the progressive Nasrec policy. We must create jobs. We must implement NHI. We must have affordable, accessible, and reliable public transport. So we're appealing to the party that in the process of frustration by those who can make a bigger noise, we were there, Comrade Blake and Comrade Soli. For the first time, we sit in the meeting and not usher a single word. It's not like us. We sit there on that day, we never raise a hand. We're just paralyzed. What is going on here? Comrade Lamola and others, those who are young and brave, were able to say something. But we were paralyzed. And what is going on here? We must not give up, comrade. We must not be defocused. We must not be frustrated. We must take the responsibility and say, this is our movement. We must defend. We must get rid of the populists within our movement. We must go back to the political school and be able to engage comrades. So we're appealing with the to the party. Let's go back to the joint political schools. Let's build strong democratic union. Let's fight jointly. Let's fight corruption. As we'll be electing public representative, we want to lobby the party and demand that all those who will be elected, comrade, the ANC has to take them through a political school, irrespective of their age, or whether people were the truly detachment and etc., some of them have lost what they have learned. We need to engage these comrades to be thorough, sincere, and honest, that they need to improve their knowledge, that they must learn from the past experience to avoid similar mistake in future. But more importantly, comrade, we must teach this representative, comrade, that they must keep closest contact with the people. Asingathi ke comrade Nyambos, uyabona namhlanje usihleleli nathi, uyasikhawula, uyasihaka, wenza yonke lento. Singathi ke mase sinikhethile comrade Blade, mase silethe memorandums kula sekugcwele amaphoyisa manje. Sesiyabuza sekwenze njani? Hayi protect uminister. Hayi sihlala naye lo minister, sidla iskopo naye Alex, nimprotecta kubani manje? But bamprotecta from the masses. No, comrade. All the representatives must keep closest contact with our people. But lastly, comrade, we must teach our public representatives, we must not take it for granted. They must learn to love the masses. Awuzukuthanda umuntu wonke nje, kodwa uma public representative kumele ubingelele nje wonke umuntu. Uyamazi awumazi, ukhethile lo muntu. The African National Congress must know, comrade Lamola and comrade nabaningi abahlala ku-NEC, ake siwahlebela ama-leaders ukuthi ANC uma iwina ukhetho ayikhethwa ngama-members wayo. Ama-members we-ANC awu-1 million, i-ANC khethwa u-12 million. Yile 12 million ke esikhuluma ngayo okumele sihloniphe ngaso sonke isikhathi. Sikhumbuze njalo nje ukuthi uma bethi abanandaba namavote sibakhumbuze. Omunye la comrade Mamabulo wathi akawadingi the dirty votes la eBekestan, wagcina kuyathina lapha eBekestan siyoncenga abantu ukuthi hayibo lo muntu bezikhulumela nje asazi ubebheme ini, sifuna nini niyenzele i-ANC. Basilalela abantu, comrade. Where to take comrade Winnie Mandela in morning, comrade Soli, you were there. We said uma sekunje sekudingeka umama Winnie sambe naye. Abantu baseBekesdal bathi angeke sibuye siphila. Sathi uma ngabe ANC ngasangeni ikhosatu nephathi kumele yongena. Safika bathi abantu siyayithanda le ANC, kodwa lama leaders asithuka ngamehla nayizolo asiwafuni. Sengivala ke comrade ngoba ucomrade uGeneral Secretary wenihaw ungithole ngenza ama notes lapha ngivula iBhayibheli. Wathi kuma wakhuluma nje ngale Bhayibheli ngizokhuluma ekhosatu. Kanti bengivule isection enhle kabi ngoba bengifuna ukwazi ukuthi why uma ubheka ibhola ubheka ama players, kunama player abizwa bo Jesus, angazi ukene nayibheka lento. kunama player abizwa abo Jesus. Manchester City abayaziyo Citizen. Kodwa la ekhaya mthetho. Uma ubiza indodana yakho nje uthi uJesu. I-Home Affairs ngeke imregisterishe. Ungaya la uthanda khona ecourt uthi nanga umntanami igama lakhe lesikolo uJesus. Ngeke bavume. Bengithi ke ngifuna ukubatshela abantu bakithi ukuthi uma silifunda le Bible ake silifunde kahle abantu bakithi. Si understand le ndaba yasePalestine. Omama bethu mabethandaza la ngeke ngizubhlungu kakhulu mase bethi thina abantwana bakwaIsrael. Awungithi Nkosi yami ugogo wami usho kanjani ukuthi umntwana kaIsrael abantu benenhliziyo ezimbi kangaka bakwaIsrael. Asibafundisi. iJerusalem alikho ezulwini lila. iKhanana alikho ezulwini lila. Ungathi umuntu asolo wathi hayi Nkosi yami ungikhaphe ngwele iJordan lila uyapha eJordan. Ngeyi-13 ke comrades aka February ikhosathu ya ku general strike. Ngeyi-13 zaka February siya ku general strike. Abantu bebaye ba confuseke niya kanjani ku general strike nikhuluma ngama election. Cha, sifuna u-encourage le government. Sifuna NHI siphelelwa isikhathi. Asifuni i-privatization yama state owned enterprise. Sifuna imsebenzi. Asifuni VAT. So sifuna bakhumbuza ama comrade ukuthi no siyanithanda kodwa esingakufuni asikufake ngaphakathi sikhiphela ngaphandle. Sithi kasimobilizane comrade sizoyiqinisa le African National Congress so that mangabe debate izinto argument ingasenayo it abasebenzi basho kanje sikwazi ukuqhubekela phambili amandla. Long live the spirit of Comrade Joe Slovo, long live.
Siyabonga nobhala sitshayeleni izandla comrade. Thank you very much Comrade Bheki. Phambili ngemfundo phambili. Phambili ngama political schools phambili. Phambili ngama political schools phambili. Down with corruption down. Phansi corruption down. Phansi populism phansi. Amandla. Amandla. Qina khosati qina. So besikhona kuleyo march nobhala iparty zokusupport. So besilapho sinani. Without wasting time comrades, sizobiza iANC, the leader of this alliance. Izosinikeza i-solidarity message. Nyamboze. Awusondele Nyamboze. Masimphakamseni ngengoma. Amandla. Siyabonga comrades.
Amandla. Amandla. Matla. Matimba. Manda. Ashu. Viva ANC, viva. Bua komanisi, bua. Qina msebenzi, qina. Malibongwe. roar, young lions roar. Tigitela lufasimba tigitela. Thank you very much, comrades, program directors, the leadership of the party led by Comrade Blade, General Secretary Perpetual, the leadership of Abasebenzi led by Comrade Peggy Chalinchali, the General Secretary, members of SANCO, and to all the communists gathered here today. We bring comrades greetings from the National Executive Committee of the ANC, which is finalizing its meeting today in Devon. And we are assembled here to commemorate the life of a leader, a patriot, a father, a fighter, a negotiator, an internationalist, a theoretician, and an organizer. Indeed, it is the combination of all these qualities so splendidly in one individual, which made Comrade J.S. the great African revolutionary that he was. Men and women of rare qualities are few and hard to come by. Amongst the heroes and heroines of our long struggle for freedom and justice, the name of Comrade Joe Slovo will always remain in the front ranks. Few could have been more revered and more universally acclaimed and admired than Comrade Joe Slovo. He, in many ways, came to personify the inclusive, non-racial, and broad nature of our revolution. When the working people start enjoying as a right a roof over their heads, affordable medical care, quality education, and a rising standard of living, they would be right to say Comrade Joe Slovo was a chief architect who helped lay the foundation for a better life. When those yet to be born marvel at how South Africans of our times manage a delicate transition, they'll be within their right to sing as we did during the years of armed struggle. Joe Slovo, a commander of reconstruction and development, a warrior for peace and reconciliation, a builder par excellence. Comrade Joe Slovo was one of those who taught us that individuals do not make history. Yet, in each generation, there are a few individuals who are endowed with the acumen and personal bearing which enable them to direct the course of events. The occasion of the anniversary of the demise of Comrade Joe Slovo, the former General Secretary of the Communist Party, will always be a somber moment which brings back fond memories of the leadership qualities of the great patriot who worked to liberate the downtrodden from the clutches of apartheid colonial subjugation. At the same time, it also behoves us to reflect the legacy of this great leader. The legendary resolve of Comrade J.S. to dedicate his life to the armed overthrow of the iniquitous apartheid white rule in the fullness of his lifetime made him to become an enigmatic and beautiful embodiment of the non-racial character of our struggle. The total commitment of Comrade Joe Slovo to bringing an end to apartheid and freedom to the majority of South Africans was not only underlined by the sacrifices he and his family made in the bitter struggle we waged to destroy apartheid colonialism, but most importantly, his keen and tenacious contribution to the revolutionary thought, in fact, in directing the revolutionary thought in our struggle. Furthermore, Comrade J.S. demonstrated to all South African revolutionary activists that freedom is about development and better life for all. In his duties as the Minister of Housing, following the dawn of democracy, he continued to live a simple life whilst working for the best comfort for the masses with his legendary RDP housing program, which is still popular to this day. It's amazing, comrades, that almost 25 years, the first thing we are able to account to the public is how this government has provided houses, the shelter on the roof of our people. And as we do that always, we should remember the architect, Joe Slovo, who actually led in that regard. Today, we commemorate the life of Comrade Slovo against the backdrop of immense challenges to our revolution, both domestically and globally. We note, as we did in the strategy and tactics of the global economic crisis started in 2007, which underlined the flaws of neoliberal ideology and praxis. The world is experiencing a poly-crisis reflected in rapacious conduct of finance capital, signs of a secular stagnation in production and trade, degradation of the environment, and further marginalization of regions in the periphery of global capitalism. Accompanying these multiple crises, comrades, is the declining legitimacy of the political and business elites. And on the backdrop of that, we see the ascendancy of narrow nationalism, whether we are viewing it from Europe or the Americas. You see this upward mobility which has to be defeated. The challenge then to us is how do we broadly, as progressive civil society and left political movements, respond to this challenge, which challenge has been going on and has taken a swipe to the global left and the revolution in the world to change the lives of people for the better. South Africa as a country is one which manifests the most of the social fault lines that define humanity's current challenges, the inequality which we have to continue to fight. We also, comrade, as we move in the path of our national democratic revolution, should not forget human solidarity programs which led us to where we are today. Addressing the 60th anniversary of the SACP 1981 in Mozambique, Maputo, Comrade JS reminded us this very important aspect of revolutionaries. Human solidarity. Mentioned South Africa as one country which was still under the clutches of apartheid colonialism, Namibia, and Western Sahara. We can say, comrades, that the struggle of the people of Palestine, of Western Sahara, and the continued blockade by the US of Cuba should always be on the agenda of the liberation movement. And as we do that, we will ensure that the legacy of Comrade Joe Slovo is preserved. But the defenders of national oppression could not understand who Joe Slovo was, why Slovo would seek to end the dominance of his kith and kin. But Joe's kin was all humanity, especially the poor. The champions of privilege and concentration of wealth could not fathom why Slovo identified with the rest of the earth. But Slovo knew that these were the creators of wealth and they deserve their fair share. In that, comrades, we thank you for your attention, and long live the spirit of Comrade Slovo.
Viva ANC, viva! Viva African National Congress, viva! Amandla! Tata ANC, tata! Tata ANC, tata! Balega TA, balega! Balega EAFF, balega! Balega Inkatha, balega! Ngena ANC, ngena! Thank you very much, Nyambozi. I'm a shift Ashitana, comrade. I'm now handing over to the national chair. Comrade chair.
Amandla. Comrades, we have come to a stage now when we have to call unobhala we-party to come and address us. Umdengendonga. Nonke Nyamaza don't have to explain who he is. Dr. Bladen Zimande has to come so that he can give us directions in dealing No, you're fine. And you can leave them away and land there like that. But they land there like that. Sorry.
Amandla! Long live the memory of Comrade Joe Slovo, long live! Long live the memory of Comrade Joe Slovo, long live! Viva the South African Communist Party, viva! Viva the African National Congress, viva! Viva COSATU, viva! Viva Sanko, viva! Amandla! Phansi ngama-labor broker, phansi! Phansi ngokudelezwa, phansi! Forward to socialism, forward! Veva the YCL ufasimba veva. Maikule YCL maikule. Amandla. Veva the ANC Women's League, Veva. Veva the ANC Youth League, Veva. Amandla. Nokuthi manje anikho organized la emakomanisini imbokotho. Comrade Joyce. Comrade Chair, Comrade Uzokwana. No Comrade Joe Peace. Uhlalo we SACP kule province. Ngibingelele our first Deputy General Secretary, Comrade Usoli, and other officials apart who are here, and members of the Central Committee. Comrade Unathi Mthetho, the leadership enye ANC ekhona la no Comrade Ronald. You are most welcome, comrades. Ngibingelele uGeneral Secretary weKhosatu, uComrade uBheki Tshali. Comrade Bheki ukhulume kahle. Lento yakho yokugcizelela imfundo is very important. In fact, we need to say now, when we say we must affirm the youth, we mean the youth esikoleni. Lenga yile esikoleni so iaffirma ngokuthi sithi ayihambi esikoleni. Ibuyele esikoleni. We want to say we now need a country in leadership ephambili kuba abantu abayile esikoleni. We must not be apologetic about that. Sisho abantu bakithi abangabanga nethuba lokuya esikoleni abana role they do. But the fact of the matter is izinto indlela esesiyo. You are right to more emphasize indaba ye education. Ngibingelele ama leaders ama affiliates akhona la as they have been introduced. Our Khosatu kuma members of Central Committee to khona no provincial secretary bethu in particular. Siyabonga ama comrades ukuthi nibe khona la. Sibingelela uComrade uTinyiko. The leadership yakhe yonke yeYCL ekhona la. And I also want to take this opportunity, my comrades, on behalf of the SACP, to congratulate you on your successful Congress, which was the Alice at the University of Fort Hare, as the YCL. And we want to say to you, we are proud of you, because you are indeed our YCL of the South African Communist Party. Ngibingeleleke nani nonke ma comrades enikhona la. Ngiyazi ukuthi nibala liyana libalele kuyashisa kunjani, you are always here. We appreciate that, because all what we are saying is that we are good communists and we are good cadres. Siyabonga, sishayeleni izandla ngalokho. Today, comrades, marks the 24th anniversary since Comrade Slovo passed away on the 6th of January 1995. At the time, Slovo was the national chair of our party, the SACP, and a member of the NEC and the National Working Committee of the ANC, which shows that communists have always played a role both in the party as well as in the broader liberation movement. We must continue to play that role, comrades, as communists. We are pleased today that this government has built millions of houses, and Comrade Joe Slovo set the path and set us on our journey to build houses for the poor in particular. Comrade Slovo set a very good example, was a hard-working person, was a strategist, was a tactician of our struggle.
Comrade Slovo was involved in drafting some of our own key documents. Sinemqulu wethu nathi njengombutho wenkululeko esiyingxenye yawo seyamakomanisi ebhaliwe uComrade uJoe Slovo omunye wabo njenge-Strategy and Tactics sika-1967 69 Comrade nathi Comrade uJoe Slovo was one of the drafters. You know, by the way, there is a fight about that drafting of that document. Comrade Joe Matthews used to say, you know what, this thing, Strategy and Tactics, Summer 69, was drafted by Joe. People don't specify which Joe. Because there were so many Joes in the ANC. Konu John Tlantlanga ngaleso sikhathi, kukhona uJoe Mdise, kukhona uJoe Matthews, ubabana lady, kukhona uJoe Slovo. I understand, though, that the two Joes that were quite central was Comrade Joe Matthews and Comrade Joe Slovo in the drafting and the strategy and tactics. Babe baningi go Joe ANC at that time. I don't know now. Sinabo kodwa namanje. Comrade Slovo served as the Chief of Staff, MK, and also was the General Secretary of the SACP. Was replaced, of course, in both responsibilities by Comrade Ukrisana. Umkhonto in many ways also led the way. You know, at the time of the formation of Umkhonto, in 1961, the ANC at that time was not open to members from any others other than Africans, but Umkhonto opened and said, we want everyone to be part of Umkhonto Wesizwe. That is why the first two commanders of Umkhonto, amongst other things, was a Comrade Joe Slovo, no Comrade Nelson Mandela. Also capturing the fact that the MK was a project of both the ANC and the SACP. Comrades, our call today, as we remember, Comrade Joe, is that let's be like Joe Slovo by serving our people selflessly and wholeheartedly. Uyabona kuma kuthiwa khona into esiyidinga ngamabhakede ukusebenzela abantu bakithi sibe singalindele lutho ngalokho esizoluzuza thina as individuals. 24 years ago, Comrade Slovo passed away. 24 years later, our organization and our movement is emerging out of one of its most dangerous periods since 1994, where us, sections of this leadership of this movement, almost handed over our country to corrupt elements, some of whom singabazi ukuthi bavelaphi, safuna ukuthatha izwe nama institutions ethu silinike bona. If truth be told, it has also been a period where some of the worst tendencies that can characterize any revolutionary movement threatened to tear the ANC apart. Sifuna ukusho thina samakomanisi, in the lead up to Nasrec, sesinovalo kabi inyambosi ukuthi zoqhubeka phakathi ANC. Sihlangana nje siphuma kule period enzima, which also has been characterized by terrible tendencies both inside our own broad movement as well as in South African society. I want to focus on those because Comrade Slovo was very good in pointing out at the many dangers that face the movement, including ideological dangers. Ngifuna ukubala lezifo okufunakala sizilo siyikhiphe embuthweni. iBP yakhona ushukela wakhona lo embuthweni. Funa siukhiphe uBP noshukela baphila abantu bakithi nasembuthweni asiyikhiphe lezi zinto. Sifo sokuqala esikhulu esibhekene nombutho wethu factionalism. It's a terrible disease. There are always differences in any organization. But the moment those differences are about who is in a position in order to control resources, it becomes a problem. To the point yokuthi siyadublana sibulalane namhlanje sibanga ikhundla shows how dangerous this disease has become. Indaba ye-assassination on the grounds zokuthi ubani ozoba sesikhundleni ukuze acontrol maphi ama-resources shows ukuthi in fact factionalism is one thing that will ultimately destroy our revolution if we don't defeat it. Sila namhlanje phambi kwethuna lika Joe Slovo sifuna ukuthi siyizwe siumbutho asilwiseni le factionalism, and part of fighting it is to point it out ukuthi comrade, we are acting in a factionalist way. Namanje, those who are acting in a factionalist way as we are going into an election, asibabizele eceleni singabasabi sibatshela. Akangathi upresident and a program KZN in the lead up to the 12th kube khona nabanye baba nama programs that are countering uPresident Cyril Ramaphosa into ayenzayo lapha eThekwini. That's being factionalist and dividing the movement. Sifo sokuqala ke lesi esizothi namhlanje uma sila phambi kwaSlovo sisiqede. The second disease is not a new one. It's the resurgence of racism and racial chauvinism. We have a big challenge in our country today that the racism that has been such a feature of society is threatening to get worse and get out of hand. You know, Comrade Joe, now Comrade Zowan, I was looking at tension at Clifton Beach, Nyambos. I said, you know, looking at some other clips on Facebook and all that, we are just so close to a racial confrontation if we are not careful. So, comrades, we have to fight racism wherever it rears its ugly head, including organizations like the AfriForum, who are actually abusing our democracy to want to roll back izinto which we must do. For example, Comrade Sol, the AfriForum is taking uBhekicele to court, Minister Wamapolice. Why? Because the Minister of Police wants to actually promote these comrades who are doing VIP protection. Abahamba nathi thina sivikelo wamaphoyisa ukuthi bathole better positions and promotions. Some of them have been doing this for 23 years. They have never been promoted, and many of them babesemkhontweni nakwi-APLA, but they can't be promoted. The AfriForum court iyabavimba. These racists. This is abuse of our democratic process, actually. But also, comrades, we must be careful. We can't fight racism with racism. We can't. Some of this racial chauvinism that we are seeing coming from within the ranks of black people, it's unacceptable. It must be condemned. I don't want to mention organizations, but I can't resist. This backward racial chauvinism of the PLF, we must condemn it in the strongest possible terms. Because they're an opportunist organization that's racially chauvinistic. In any case, whose interests are they serving? The leader of PLF, when we were marching for land some 10 years back, he opposed us marching to Accra, South Africa. Today he's like this big champion. We must defeat that. And the communities of voted and we vote. No one must go and vote for that. Se voted the African National Congress. Ha, that's it. We are not voting for anybody else. Who are these chauvinists? Very backward and behind. Even the EFF has got elements of this backward racial chauvinism in itself. Asimusu ukulahleka sithi uma sineyinkinga bese siyalahleka. Singenziso kwaloya mkhove lathi lini izulu wayongena ngamakelwane ungena ekhaya. Fika kubasa umlilo la Nyambosi uyangena usuyotha nawo uyayijiva emnyango. Kanti ungena wrong ngamakelwane wrong. Asingangeni ngamakelwane wrong. Thina sabantu siyahlaba nanokuhlaba ngithi siyakwazi lokho. Awuthi uma uhlaba kamakhelwane ubiza idlozi la kaMkhize uNzimande. Uma wakanzimande ubiza idlozi la kaNzimande. Uma ukhongolosi ubiza idlozi la kakhongolosi uOliver Tambo no Joe Slovo no Mama Albertina Sisulu. Hayi ukuthi uyobiza ezinye izinto esingazazi. In memory of Comrade Joe Slovo, we must do all to defeat racism and racial chauvinism. The other disease, esinye sifo esikhona, is tribalism and regionalism. Comrades, you must be careful of this. And usually it's leaders, by the way, if they want positions, they appeal to chauvinism and regionalism. Today, if we are a leader from a particular province, you must go and only work in that province. That's wrong. We are one people, we are one South Africa. In fact, the biggest achievement of the African National Congress, which people forget, was to unite the African people. Lento yokuthi manje kuqale kuba khona abakhuluma indaba the tribal affiliation is wrong. In any case, as far as we are concerned, not just the SACP, the alliance as a whole, we understand tribalism as a political refuge of political scoundrels. That's what it is, tribalism. We must not allow that. The other disease is let's say populism. Let's again, there are elements of it, as Comrade Tupege was saying, Mbutweni, but also in broader South African society. What is populism in simple language? Populism is to promise people easy solutions to complex problems. And we have been worried as the SACP also would, in raising the issue of the important issue of land. There is also a populist element, as if land, the expropriation without compensation, is going to be just land grab. That is not how we actually plan to do this. That's being populist. We are actually misleading our people. It's another disease in populism. You promise people to deal with very difficult issues in a very simple way. Also populism, neo-fascism. We are seeing elements of that in South African society today. It is very important. Some of the people wish they were dictators so that they could actually do as they wish. We don't have a dictatorship here. We don't want it. We have a democracy. Zininganyana lezifo. Zininganyana lezifo. Ngitangizisho ngoba lo muntu esomkhumbula namhlanje wayekhuluma ngalezifo engayifuni. Khona nezintsha ezazingekho. Nasike sinye isifo i-cult of personality. Ukuthi umuntu othize ubaluleke ngaphezulu kombutho. Today, there is a danger of that reimagining, comrades. Today we are told, no, we can't campaign for elections because the ANC won't win. Ivela apileyonto, comrades. Ivela apileyonto. There is no one who is bigger than our movement. Not a single individual. Comrade Mandela waibeka and what I am who I am as Nelson Mandela because of the African National Congress. I would not have been what I am were it not for the ANC. Sivusa Mandela ukuthi kukhona umuntu obaluleke ngaphezulu kombutho. Akho umuntu makuthiwe ucampaigner la uyena ozolalelwa kangcono kunabanye abantu. Because uComrade ubheka uyibekile lento
We are about what the ANC is saying in its manifesto. That's what we are about. So this cult of personality, yokukhonza abantu, amakhosi angabekwanga muntu, yinto leyo ke wrong esingayifuni, which we must defeat. Nasi-ke siyisifo sokugcina engifuna ukukhuluma ngaso. Ungadini othisha omkhulu, kodwa-ke asikhulumi kabi ngezifo ezithize, kodwa-ke iboshukela, no BP, no heart attack bala embuthweni. Dokotela. We are merely making an example. Ilento yokuthi, when we are trying to unite ourselves as a movement, by the way, when we are talking about a movement, we are talking about the alliance and all the democratic forces led by the ANC. That's the movement. Today we are trying to unite ourselves to fight corruption, to fight against the state capture. But we can see that there is an attempt to fight against this fight which we are waging against corruption and the state capture. You say that some communists, sinesipho. Isipho just ngasitholanga emoyeni. It's because we worry ourselves about studying what is happening in society. You see these smallanyana parties that are wanting to, like, we want to form a new party. We want to form this, but people are also associating themselves with the ANC. Watch that thing closely. What is the aim of that? The aim is to reduce a majority ANC. Or ANC wins with such a slight majority, such that it has no authority to deal with corruption and state capture, amongst other things, or to drive a progressive agenda. That is the aim of and so on. That is the aim. That is why, comrades, you must make no mistake. You can't vote that day is ANC or nothing. You can't be able to call abanye institutions amakhulu state bengayanga nasesikoleni bengakwazi ukuwaphatha. Comrade coup, Communication Workers Union. Their SAPC is in a mess because of some of the mistakes we made as a movement. Sazovumela abantu abangakwazi ukuphatha uSAPC ukuthi bazophatha uSAPC. We must rescue naloya SAPC. SAPC is our own public broadcast. But I can't debate nalo SAPC. Alex. The SAPC advertises itself now, it says independent and impartial. Hey, Comrade Sol, now Nyambos, independent, yes, we agree. But why should a public broadcaster be impartial? Can't be. When it comes to racism, the public broadcaster must be partial in the struggle against racism. When it comes to gender-based violence, the public broadcaster must be partial against gender-based violence. And yes, this liberal notion of impartiality of a public broadcaster is a public broadcaster in a revolutionary situation. Engathi ngayishintsha le advert ngani zakwetheni kwa SABC asiyithandi thina ngoba singanithandi but ayehli kahle. You can't be impartial when society is faced with so many challenges, and the public broadcaster must be part of tackling those challenges. Babum team. Now today we must say, let's fight the Fight Back campaign. Let's fight the Fight Back campaign and defend the African National Congress. President we ANC and the country. Kule province engikhanga kuyona simbiza kamnandi sithi Comrade usilile. That's a nice way of saying is leading a process to rescue our state-owned companies from capture. Is changing some institutions like SARS to actually collect the taxes that we need to address the needs of our people. We must support Comrade Ramaphosa in this fight to rescue our state institutions so that they serve our people. And we must not be apologetic about that. Those who are fighting against what Ramaphosa is doing, we must fight them. We must fight the fight back. Fight the fight back. Fight. Fight. Fight for the sake of our revolution and what we want to do. Now, the Portfolio Committee on Intelligence in Parliament has taken a very important decision that there must be a full investigation into all rogue intelligence services in the state security agents. Labo abebesebenzisa izakhiwo zethu zokuxoshela ulwazi ngokuthi kuvikelwe izwe lakithi beyisebenziselwa ukulwa izimpi zabo embuthweni sithi abavezwe kubhekanwe nabo noma ngabe babeseyikhundleni eziphezulu kangakanani. We must expose this rogue. We have been victims as the SACP of this rogue intelligence activities. There are things that have been manufactured about us that are sitting somewhere, and these billions of rands that have been stolen from the slush fund of the state security agents, we are saying, investigate and go to the bottom of this thing. We welcome Ngoto Anwar Dramat, no McBride and others are going to be going to the State Capture Commission to talk about these things. Abenze into wrong makudilwe nabo. Silandelelwa nge-intelligence amakomanisi. What for? We are not enemies of this revolution. We were part of the people who brought about the kind of country that we have at the moment. And we are still going to be part of the forces to deal with the problems that we have in these forces. In the name of Joe Slovo, asingalandela. Abebesilandela. Mabavela. Nale mali abayidlile kudliwe imali eningi lapha ku state security agents. I can say that with confidence, by the way. Iningi imali edliwe lapha abanye abantu benikwe imoto kuthiwa baqashiwe. Kukhona aba-investigator yonke into. Everything must be investigated. We welcome also that President Ramaphosa has appointed a high-level review panel to look at our intelligence services and dig whatever rot is there so that we are able to sort it out. We are saying this, comrades, because one of the things, when we are talking state capture, we have only been looking at the economic side of state capture. We have not been looking at the security side of state capture. So, kuluma ngesama komanisi. Mina ngizalwa intombi yakwaDlamini uMaDlamini. Intombi yale eEastern Cape. Ujamas Judge ucubungilasha izizelihle. Alithi mina mntanami uthethe inyani every time ngoba mawusufila uyuveza umunwe boxini. Abantu abayafe beqamba manga umuntu ngeke likwazi ukuvaleka icoffin yakhe ngoba kobe kuvela umuntu ongafuni ukuthi uvaleke. Abangangizwa ngicela ukuthi abanye babatolukele. Ngoba isiXhosa story. Nangu nosihlalo wami uyavuma. Nina benifuna ukuspoila ngale platform no Jacob. Nizokhuluma ngezinto nje ezingangena. Angiyazi le dialectics yenu niyithatha. A loss in a soccer game and a draw are two different things. It's not the same. What's your dialectics which say a draw and a loss is actually the same thing? I won't explain any further. I find Leon. Comrades, you know, one of the reasons why as the SACP, in remembering Slovo, we are saying we must fight state capture, is because one of the biggest threats, the state capture, is to undermine the gains we've made over the last 25 years. We have lots of challenges. I'm going to be coming to them when I move towards the ending. But we have made lots of gains. We have done away with apartheid laws. We have actually increased access by our people to health, to education, and to social services, many of them, including social grants. Abantu bakithi ngabe balamba kakhulu kuba wekho lama social grants. Ziningi izinto esizenzile silala sikhona as a result of the gains we've made. Now, if you take uEskom, you hand over uEskom kumndeni wakwaGupta esingawazi ukuthi wavelaphi, sizoshintsha kanjani impilo zabantu bakithi ngoba bazohlwitha konke lokho ebese sikutholile over the last 25 years. The ANC took a very important resolution, Comrade Ronald Emangaung. Yati, we must now drive a second, more radical phase of our democratic revolution. Khulumisa ngesesihle umbutho wethu. Siyakwazi ukuchaza nangesintu. Yeah, Comrade Jacob uyichaza ngesipedi. Mina ngizoyisho ngesizulu. Sidinga ukufaka amafutha ekutheni siguqula isimo sezomnotho manje. Kodwa ukuze sikwazi ukwenza lokho kufanele sakhele phezu kwento esesizuzile kulo 25 years old. Sifaka petrol. Sengiyawazi manje petrol ngoba kuthiwa ngibe uMinister of Transport. Kodwa kumina ngikhuphula iprice ka petrol. Ningaze ningisuse la nyamba. Comrades, we must defend. In doing so, as the SACP, we are saying, build a broad patriotic front to defend. And build a broad non-racial front to defend our gains. Every South African must stand together to fight against the corruption and state capture and to defend our country, irrespective of gender or color. It's a struggle for all of us. For the SACP, the National Democratic Revolution is our most direct route to socialism. The attainment of some of the key objectives of the National Democratic Revolution will take us a long way towards our ultimate goal of socialism. That is why Slovo always reminded us that the SACP's participation in the National Democratic Revolution was not a postponement of the struggle for socialism, but an essential condition for creating the conditions for an advance to socialism. Ngibeka ngesilungu lento iyachazeka nje nangesintu. Uma silwa sibambisene no-ANC noKhosatu neSANU nabantu bakithi abathanda inkululeko nenqubekela phambili sithi sifuna izwe eliguqukile, lokho kuthina njengamakomane sikusiyisa phambili enhlosweni yethu yokugcina thina yombuso wamadlandawonye socialism. Ngakho kuma sibona ingozi evelela lo mzabalazo esulwa manje ivimba la sifuna ukuya khona thina ekugcineni. Ingakho kufanele silwe lo ngozi, silwe ngazazathi ivimba leyanto esifuna ukuya kuyo. Ingakho nje singayivumi lento ukuthi sitshele ukuthi asingakhulumi ngeANC samakomanisi. Khona abantu abaspecialize kulokho. Communist Party ikhuluma ngeANC. Sayekelana ukukhuluma ngeANC. iANC umbutho wethu, umbutho wabantu, nathi amalunga le-African National Congress. Sizoyekelana. Uma ngabe kuthiwa amakomanisi awangakhulumi neKhosatu bangakhulumi ngeANC, ubani okufanele akhulume ngeANC? iDA, uMaimane. ne-AfriForum okufanele ikhulume nge-ANC uma kungethina abantu basekhaya. Kusekhaya la ku-African National Congress azona ivakashi, asibone omzala, asibone obani, siyingane zeyabantu bakhona ku-African National Congress is our organization eyethu. Eyethu futhi asikweleti muntu ngalokho. But comrades, at the same time, today we want to say we must act to unite ourselves at all times as a movement. You see, i-SACP, ne-COSATU, ne-SANCO, na-ANC yavuma manje ukuthi asiyixoxe lento. When we speak about reconfiguring the alliance, it's not because we are talking about this for elections and positions. No. If we are to tackle the problems that I'm going to outline now that we face, we need a united alliance that must function according to the current conditions, not an alliance that functions as if we're in the 1960s. Okay? Abafune alliance yangama 1960s sizobakhola yona emuseum. Nyambos bayoyibuka ukuthi eyangama 60s i-alliance yayinje. Thina sifuna le alliance ka 2019 to be able to deal with current conditions. That's what reconfiguration is about. We can't pretend as if we are 1960s when today we are in power. We are not in power then. And being in power is both good and comes with its own dangers. As I have said, how then should the alliance? The alliance must seek consensus. It can't be good song as sevens. At the end, it no process here NC alone. It can't be an NC process alone. No. We must actually work together. It's part of uniting ourselves for the sake of our revolution. And that's the best tribute this guy Joe Slovo is to reconfigure the alliance to be in line with the current challenges and conditions. Now I'm a task comrades engiyaqeda. Ungaze kuthiwa ngikhuluma nomphela except ukuthi uma ngikhuluma sibovu sibahle kanje samagomane kuvuka umoya weComrade uZola. Kuvuka umoya Nyambos. Comrades, umsebenzi wethu wokuqala obaluleke kunawo wonke kulonyaka ka2019 ukuthi siwine ukhetho kulonyaka. That's the key strategic and programmatic objective of the working class and the people of South Africa as a whole, is for us as the ANC-led alliance to win the elections this year. To win elections does not mean you control state power in its totality, by the way. But you can't lose that governmental and electoral power, because you won't be able to transform the state and to change society and to do the things that we want to do today. It's very important. So that is very important. But we are going to say this unashamedly. We have to win the election within the context of a reconfiguring alliance. We are very pleased to at least we are all agreed that the alliance. Let's discuss what we mean by this. But we must remember as communists, discussions are important, but discussions alone, they don't change things. We have to be on the ground, such that our people realize that the alliance needs to be with the times. Sengibona manje ngizwa nezinto ezikahle la ku Facebook so wena ngikwazi noma ukhona yini kulezi zinto uzofanele sikufundise kodwa njenge first deputy general secretary SAC sengiye ngizwe nje kuthiwa ukuthi hu angazi ukuthi kusho ukuthini sibona la ku Facebook So ke kuzofanele ukuze kuthi who kwi alliance we must reconfigure the alliance ukuthi who ke kuphole kushaya umoya kube right. Joe Slovo was a man of very insightful words. But he was not only a man of words, he was a man of action as well. Yabona Joe Slovo uke wa commander i-unit okuthiwa special operations yomkhonto. Eyashaya i-military headquarters yamabhunu i-Fortress eHoogte. Yashaya noSasol. Amabhunu I'm declared as the enemy number 1. And I'm sorry, they were scared of him. Even Nama SB now. Nama SB amai. That's human zalababa. Security branch abanye baba abantu abamnyama. Babecabanga ngamazi uSlovo ukuthi ubani. Babemsaba kabi na. One of our comrades might detainiwe. Shaya amabhunu security police bese bemshiya nowakithi. Security branch yakithi. They were horrible, if not worse sometimes. But no, mfowethu, khuluma iqiniso bazokuyeka belunga ngeke bakushaya mangabe ukhuluma iqiniso. Iqalakatha lezi zayisebenzela amabhuku. Kodwa ke mfowethu ngempela njengoba ngiyeza ukuthi owabaseswazini nakomuza uyamazi uSlovo. Konje abakaSlovo abakaba. Because babecabanga ukuthi uSlovo is a black lead umuntu omnyama. Indlela uSlovo ayesatshwa ngayo. He was a man of action. Nathi, we must be a movement of action. We must intensify working class and mass campaigning. I have said that the first task is to win the elections and to fight all these diseases ebengikhuluma ngazo inside our movement and in broader South African society. Funize nemjovo yakhona namaphilisi akhona nama-cough mix sifuma uma singavumi sibulale all these diseases ezikhona embuthweni. Also, as the SACP comrades, let's take forward our Red October campaign. Not only the 2018 Red October campaign, but also the 2017-2018 Red October campaign of intensifying the struggle against gender-based violence. Lento yokuhlukunyezwa kwabantu besifazane ngalolu hlobo asisukumeleni lento iphele, sisukumele emphakathini street by street nasemgaqweni khona. Uma khona indoda eshaya unkosikazi asiyekwayo soyibuza ukuthi lo muntu omshayayo yijeni leli noma umuntu onegazi ophilayo. Nathula manje ngathi angizwa kahle. Silweke nalezi ishimane khona la zamadoda ezifuna ukuthi umuntu wesifazana uma ezo-applyela umsebenzi aqale ocansini ukuqala izishimane ovuka uvale abantu abangakwazi ukukhuluma kahle bathandwe abantu besifazana. Uyabona-ke Ntshali nansi enye into kufanele ikhosati campaign yekhosati ukulwa neyishimane efuna ukuqasha abantu besifazane ngokuthi balale naso. Khosati ayikazi icabange lento ukuthi enye task campaign yekhosati ukulwa neyishimane. Ishimane abantu ababheda kabibo laba abanye abasidalela inkinga. Ukushela uqonywe into enhle nemnandi nje. Intombi yakwabo uyoyibika uyinsizwa ukuthi mina ngunzimandi insizwa yakabani intombi hayi bengithi nami impela ke ngizosho ngisondele kuwena. Kodwa intombi mayithi cha ngokuqala njengomfana okadambuza ukubuye kuzothatha ishansi kwesibili mhlambe nakwesithathu kodwa makudlula lapho isathi no hayi shaya ubone ufike ngayo indlela wayo. Kusho ukuthi akakufundi loyo muntu. Musu kuyomlalela endleleni ebusuku ufuna ukumdlwengula. Shimane lo. We must take forward this campaign, comrades, in memory and in honor of Joe Slovo. We must also take up local government problems and issues. You know, one of the issues that really is of concern We must be closer to our people, and it can't be that we've got protests that as a movement we don't know anything about, where they come from. We need to be with the people all the time and be able to engage and raise issues. Engage our councillors. The overwhelming majority of the councillors in this country are ANC councillors. Lama councillor angasebenza waphuma hambe. And we get ama councillor sebenzayo. I-councillor elingawubamba umhlangano every 3 months does not deserve to be a white councillor in that position. We must continue with the campaign. Part of contesting or campaigning for elections in 2019 is to deal with these problems. Let's not run away from them, because other forces are going to use them against us as a movement. I agree with you on national health insurance. Chal. We must mobilize. This thing of a strike by COSATU in support of the NHI, as it has already been said by Comrade Josie, I support us in Communist Party. We also want to condemn these people now. You know, they are now saying, no, NHI can't be implemented because our health institutions are in bad shape. What is that? We know that we have challenges in health. We know that. That's why we are introducing NHI, because it will partly help us to address those problems that we have. You can't then use the problems to say there shall be no implementation from the NHI. How different are you from the big health monopolies that do not want the national health insurance? Who is funding you to be able to talk like that? No. There is something seriously wrong. It's a new language that we are beginning to hear. Also, we want to say, Ankulum General Minister, Ankulum General General Secretary Nyambos, deployment. I'm here deployed by the SACP. Minister Umtswaledi, akawaqosha ma senior officials angayifuni NHI. He must remove them, because clearly, if there are those inside government who do not want to implement the policies of this government, they do not deserve to be there. And the Strata, because I don't defend these senior officials as a mandate that you actually and the people of South Africa have given them. Today, implement with senior official. You don't deserve to be there, and our unions must not defend those people. So we are seeing but it's correct. I think I defend abantu abangafuna implementa ama policies ombuso. Let's intensify the campaign for the provision of affordable houses for our people. But the provision of houses can't just be the function of government alone. Our banks do not want to fund low-cost housing and housing for lower middle classes. Let's go in the campaign. We have a wonderful organization, the Comrade, the leader of Comrade, Kingsby, called the Lungelo Late. They have won an important battle in the Constitutional Court. This thing of banks, you have a bond for 20 years. You have paid for 12 years. And you lose your job, you get retrenched. You can't pay. They come and take your house, go and sell it for 100 rand, and say we are still owing for another 8 years, as if we have not paid a cent. There's corruption. The Constitutional Court has said reselling of repossessed houses must be done properly. But we must say, we are saying as the SACP also, let's get rid of compound interest for the bonds of the working class and the lower middle class. Lento yokuthi imoto uyikhokhela for 6 years but indlu uyikhokhela for 20 years. No! It's because of compound interest. You can't be having compound interest for the working class and the lower middle classes. We must continue that campaign. That's why we are also demanding the holding of the Financial Sector Summit before my elections this year. What you play SACP supported globe na globe. Support a young lento ishi. But whoever did, we also going to support the SACP in this issue. Kosa to pay and SACP am aware in say. Also, comrades, let's campaign in 2019 for the implementation of the minimum wage. You know, if we don't do that, the capitalist bosses are very smart. They are so good in undermining our laws and decisions of government. They undermine the Labor Relations Act with labor brokers. The minimum wage, let's explain this. Not so long ago. We are always fighting against the minimum wage. Huh? We are miles good to buy. It seems when they treat I will double low size and be wrong. We never said the minimum wage is a living wage. The minimum wage, we said it's a start. It's going to benefit 6 million workers who have been earning below this minimum wage. Why should we throw away those workers and say, because we are not yet at a living wage, let those 6 million continue to suffer? What kind of revolutionary approach to things is that? So it's populism, yes. See, let's see, folk. It's actually being populist, and it's cheap populism. As the Communist Party and COSATU, we are very clear about this. The current minimum wage is not a living wage, but it's an important platform in our struggle for a living wage. We are not going to fold arms. We are still going to struggle for a living wage. And so we support COSATU, Tina, SACP. And the struggle for implementation of the minimum wage must be fought together with the struggle against labor brokers, amongst other things. We also want a comprehensive social security system. We support COSATU here. Our social security system does not talk to each other. There is also what is called double dipping. If you have an accident on the road, you go and get assistance, rightly so, from the road accident fund, but also want to take from the UIF, you also want to take from the social grants. Because our system is not properly coordinated. We want a comprehensive social security system, and we are going to be struggling together with COSATU to actually achieve this. It's a very important working class demand. Issue of land. Makomanis, take up the issue of land. We were the ones, by the way, who fought against the willing buyer, willing seller. Let's continue to fight for land for our people. By the way, Freedom Charter never said land must be nationalized. It says land must be shared amongst those who work it. The position here, EFF, Uti land must be nationalized, is not a position in Butoid. Land must be shared amongst those who work it. That's what the Freedom Charter is. Now, in memory of Joe Slovo today, comrades, we must continue with our international solidarity. We must continue with our international solidarity with the Swazi people. We agree with the YCL. We want democracy in Swaziland. Sisacela ku-President Ramaphosa akasizwe ngalento yaseSwazini ukuthi akube nedemocracy eSwazini. Asimzondi umSwati. Baye basibeke kabi abanye. Asinankinga nomSwati. Kuphela nje umSwati akagudla ukwenza umsebenzi wama-political organizations. Abe inkosi yawo wonke umuntu. abe ingonyama ya wonke omunye umuntu ayekelela ama political parties arane i-democracy in Swaziland. That Tinkundla system is not a democracy. And the Umswati must also release the political prisoners like Comrade Mbetsi ababoshwe ngoba balwela i-democracy. The South African government must stand up. It's our own government. Ngishilo ngathi angikhulumi njengeminister. Nyambosi. Dunywe lo mbuto wamobofu. The South African government must stand firm on this. Kungenzeki nalento eyenzeka kumina. Ngifuna ukuya ePalestine the other year. Israel says you can't go to Palestine. Yet I'm a cabinet minister. And the government doesn't say anything about that. Namanje angizange ngiye ePalestine. Angizange ngiye ePalestine. We can't have our government dilly-dallying on these things. Also, we are standing here today to celebrate with the Cuban people 60 years of the triumph of the Cuban Revolution. We want also to say thank you to the Cuban Revolution for its solidarity with our own revolution. Siyanthanda abantu base-Cuba ngoba anina lutho. I like this saying of the people of Cuba after the Battle of Cuito. They say, we went and fought in Angola in defense of liberation of the Southern African people. When we left Angola, and we also fought in other parts of Africa, when we left the African continent, when the Cuban soldiers left the African continent, all they took back to Cuba were body bags of their fallen soldiers. They did not take a piece of diamond or gold from the African continent. What more do we really need other than this kind of solidarity? We are saying to Donald Trump, let's us did it, Sir President was a lady. It's did it, this. Aye. I'm lonely Pagania. Let's us did it, Sir President. It's did it, this year. Agawa lifted, must lift this embargo against the Cuban people. Yes. Let Cuba decide what kinds of system they want. If the Americans are really not afraid of socialism, allow Cuba to practice socialism without any interference. The reason why there is an embargo is because America is scared of what the achievements of socialism can be. So try and undermine it. We say to the Cuban people, we will continue with solidarity with yourselves. The Sahrawi people must be free, must have self-determination. We were not happy, Tina, as the SACP, by allowing Morocco to go back to the African Union. We're really not happy about that. Kind of Morocco going back there when it's still a colonizer. It has actually colonized another part of the African continent. The Palestinian people, who Comrade Mandela said, South African freedom will never be complete until the Palestinian people are free and have a right to self-determination. Today, in memory of one of our greatest internationalists, Comrade Joe Slovo, we are saying we are going to be in the trenches with the Palestinian people until they are free. Ngiyavumelana nawe Comrade Bheki ngalento yakwa Israel. Kodwa ke sinamakhola kulelizwe maningi. Awuthi ngisusele nto sengiyaqeda. Uqinisile ngempela kufuneka siyibuke lento yokuthi abantwana bakwaIsrael ngoba abantwana bakwaIsrael bamanje bathatha izwe labanye abantu. Angifuneka nisibuke kabi lento akona bese nithi amakomanisa attacking religion. Ubaba Gwala used to ask a question which one day I asked the late Reverend Stoffel, may his soul rest in peace. I say to Reverend Stoffel, where mfundisi abantwana bakwaIsrael ngesikhathi bephuma eGibhithe bafika yini ezweni lesithembiso. Hey, ngizoyisho lento hayi ngoba umfundisi uStoffel engasekho. Wathi umfundisi uStoffel hey ubuza into enzima wenzimanda ngoba iqiniso ukuthi abafika. ubabugwala kabe seyayijobelela le that hayi bafika ngo-1948 sebeyothatha izwe labanye abantu ama-Palestinian. Now, by saying this, we are not saying, by the way, there is nothing in common. I can show the story as I discuss Slovo. Slovo said communists must work with Christians and other religious denominations. And we have got many Christians in the Communist Party who are practicing. They are part of us. Slovo used to say, there is one thing in common between Christians and communists. They both believe in something called heaven, Izulu. Christians, they want Izulu. Communists, they are not Izulu. Both of us. Then Slovo said, perhaps the difference between communists and Christians on heaven is that communists want heaven before they die. We want heaven here, this nice place. There is no hunger or anything. We want it here, Sacp. Slovo used to say that. Amakholwa sometimes when they want it after death. No, Tina. If Slovo said if we meet heaven after death, that will be a bonus. Because our struggle is nothing else other than to make heaven for our people on earth. That is the best way we can remember Joe Slovo. Ipati yasetyenzelwa alala. Ipati yasetyenzelwa alala. Ayithengwa ngathenda. Hey! Ayithengwa ngathenda. Alala. ANC yasetyenzelwa. Alala. Ikhosati yasetyenzelwa. Alala.
Alala, alala, yes. Ipati yasetyenzelwa. Ayithengwa ngethenda. Amanda, thank you very much, comrades. Siyabonga nobhala, thank you very much, General Secretary. Ngiyathemba comrades sonke sithathile iline. Sizwile ukuthi General Secretary uthi siyenzeni lo nyaka as we celebrate impilo kaBaba Slovo. Nobhala siphelezela umlayezo wakho sithole i-email ebuya kumndeni kaJoe Slovo. Abakhona ukuba nathi la namhlanje because stepdaughter sika Joe Slovo uthole ama-twins amantombazana. So siyabonga kakhulu uComrade uMartin Dolny usithumele i-message unifisela kakhulu ukuthi nobhala iparty ne-ANC neCOSATU ne-movement yonkana ukuthi lo nyaka simele siwina ama-election ngamalengiso. So abangazi ukuthi amalengiso yini uthi we must win the elections decisively. So comrade basibongela baba Slovo ukuthi si celebrate this 24th anniversary ka Joe Slovo sisiphathe kahle siyenze sure ukuthi umbutho uhlala united nokuthi umbutho wethu ungabi nama divisions. Lo mlayezo Comrade General Secretary ubuya uComrade Martin Dolny siyabahalalisela ngokuthola kwama-twins. Umndeni kaSlovo uyakhula comrades. Sizongena manje comrade while sisaprepare ukuthi sibeke imbali la sizocela uSolimuhulu athi ukucula amaculo amabili asibusise asinike nathi uComrade Solimuhulu. Comrade Solimuhulu Masimshayeleni izandla Comrade Solimuhulo. Viva SACP, viva! Viva COSATU, viva! Viva ANC, viva! Forward with Reconfederation, forward! Allah, Allah, Masebenzi, Allah, Allah! Allah, Allah, Makomonisi, Allah, Allah! Koto! Mutanki Kolobeto! I'm here to... How to see it? On our way to Devon, I'm launching an album called Comrade. #Tumamina. But Solimuhulo is not booked to perform. But anyhow, I've got the stuff here. I'll follow you. I've got a car with a generator. I'll go there to Devon to give you this. Again, Mara special price here, petrol. It's 600 units. As I'm speaking, it's only $50. Sure, thank you. As we are tired of which, sure. Pick up. Evan. Pamili ANC, Pamili. Ala ala kwa Zulu Natal, ala ala. Koto mulu blade, koto. Ala ala baba mteto, ala ala.